Hey guys, welcome to the We Need to Calm Down podcast. I'm Devon.
And I'm Joe.
And this is the show where we talk about all things Taylor Swift.
That's right. This is the show where two friends finally get to let their dedication to the number one pop princess this side of the Mississippi. Actually, both sides, all of them, just in the world. Taylor Swift fly.
We'll be discussing everything from Evermore to maybe Folklore and then back to Evermore.
Just a lot of well, I mean, this whole episode is going to be Evermore. Oh my gosh. But I do want to talk about one quick thing before we get into the full episode of Evermore. Last episode, if you listened, at the very end, me and Devon made a friendly wager on the number of curse words that would be in this album. We did a bit of an over-under. I set the lines for the number that I thought would be a good bet, and I thought I got trounced. When we were listening to the album, I was like, wow, I overestimated so much. And it actually was a lot closer than we thought.
So here's the thing. I think that we both, you more so than I, thought that this album, we both thought that this album was going to have more curses, but the first half of the album just skews the numbers because we were like, oh no, I'm going to lose the bet. There's so much cursing.
Yep.
And then towards the end of the album, it just kind of swayed off.
It really smooths out. Yeah. So, I mean, there is an increase in cursing. So we saw a 90% increase in cursing from Folklore to Evermore. We saw a 375% change from Lover to
That's
Evermore.
insane.
So the increases are exponential. The one thing is we still we have keeping around the same total of F words, but the dams have skyrocketed. More so probably because of "Tis the Damn Season" being on this record, and the S words are trending in the up direction as well, but no movement on any other words. This
I just love this business presentation from you. So you can see from this graph, the dams are trending upwards. That's amazing.
I don't know why, but this is so interesting to me. Like, I saw a tweet that was amazing. That was like, every time Taylor swears, it's like a drug to me. And it really is. Like, we have another. If you watched our live reaction, we posted it. I believe Friday on YouTube. You can listen to the album with us. And I love that we have live reactions to when she says the F word in Champagne Problems. We both lose our minds. Like, it's so cool to have that, and it's so fun.
My roommate was so concerned.
Never goes old. I hope this never gets old.
No, I don't think so.
So words, the line was 4. Joe bet over, Devon bet over. We both lost that one. There were only 2 F words in the whole album. For S words, the over under was 4 again. I said over, Devon said under. There were 5, so Joe won that one. B words, the line was 1.5. Joe's bet was over, Devon's bet was under. Devon won that. There were none. A words, 0.5. I said over, Devon said under. She won that one. Dams, the line was 6.5. We both went over, and the actual number is 12.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Which is insane. Hells, the over-under was 4. I said under, Devon said over. There were none, which was really interesting. There was 2 in Folklore. There were no Hells in this album. And then the tiebreaker was whether we were going to get an MF. And there was no MF, so Devon won that one. So I owe Devon an iced coffee.
Yay. Feed my addiction.
So that was just a really fun thing. I really enjoyed that. I think it's going to be fun to do more wagering about Taylor Swift, her songs, and her lyrics going forward. If we can do it in a fun, creative way. And more iced coffees
woman.
to come. But so now that we get into the episode, let's talk about some stuff with Evermore.
This episode, we'll be diving into all things Evermore, our first reaction, not first reactions, but I guess our first actual sitting down with it. What are our first impressions, our thoughts of it, our favorite songs, how our predictions lined up with what actually happened. And it's just going to be a very fun episode. We loved the album. But Joe, what were you going to say?
I was going to say we're going to start with our overall predictions before we get into how we feel about different songs, or the album itself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's any lie. Obviously, we love the album. There's no way we wouldn't. But I want to keep the degree to which we love the album a bit of a mystery.
Okay. Well, so the first prediction.
We're going to start with our losses because there are many.
Yes. So a loss of ours, one of the first predictions we said was, Folklore was really dark. This potentially could be the brighter ray of sunshine, that sister album that comes after it. It's more upbeat. It's more positive. It says, oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
We were wrong.
Yeah, we did not get that one right.
By like a lot. We thought like, yeah, the imagery that she posted, everything was so bright. There was no sepia filters, no black and white. It was all in screaming color, as we said in the last episode. And boy, were we wrong.
Did not get that.
Arguably, this album is more depressing than Folklore by a lot.
I'd say that.
So that's 0 for 1.
Okay. Second loss of the day is that we said, oh, well, she's talking about the 1800s a lot in these interviews. Maybe this album takes place further in time.
We thought Gold Rush associated with the 1849 Gold Rush in California.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she was doing another period piece like she did with the Great American Dynasty. Nope. Say, if anything, it's the exact same time period as Folklore. She mentioned that the characters in this one might have gone to school with Betty and James. So we're still in that same early 1900s time period.
Mm-hmm. Then we get to our third loss.
Our third loss is "'Tis the Damn Season" is a holiday track on a regular album. Yeah, but in a much more real sense, no. Like, you could technically make the case that it is a holiday song, but like it is not like a jingle. It's not a Christmas like sounding song. It's no like any holiday towards the end of the year song. It's just depressing.
If Christmas Tree Farm is the pinnacle of happiness, "'Tis the Damn Season," you're just in flat out depression. Can't get out of bed, depression.
It's insane. Yeah. So no, it's not a holiday track. Sad, but honestly, not sad.
0 for 3 right now.
The next one was another prediction that I made. There would be two different versions of "Tolerate It." I went into the different meanings and like vocalizations of "Tolerate It." Could be a command, could be someone being forced to tolerate it. Ended up being neither. Somehow I threw 2 darts at the wall and missed the wall. So no one is being forced to tolerate anything, really. It's just about this woman loving this guy to the ends of the earth, and instead of having that reciprocated or having that appreciated, it's just tolerated. And my God, if that's not even more heartbreaking and destructive. Jeez.
Yep. All right. The next prediction, I thought there was a thing that we saw on Twitter that Coney Island is potentially a rep track reject. There were some lyrics that were tossed out. Not at all.
Nope. Not even close. I made the prediction that Ivy could be about James and Betty in the garden. They reconciled. James and Betty aren't in the album at all. They might be at the same school as Dorothea, but that's it. That's all we know. Same thing with Closure. I said that Closure could be James and Betty getting closure and coming back together. Nope.
You
Nothing.
really
and
wanted
Closure is not about getting back together. Let me tell you. Oh my gosh.
I really wanted
James and Betty.
You wanted them in this album so bad, and I just kept going, I don't think so.
We'll get into it later, but I'm very happy that I was wrong about them being in this album. But we'll get into that a lot later. We have one last thing that we were wrong about. Only one.
And I debate this because it's kind of right, kind of wrong.
Really?
So No Body, No Crime, I predicted is going to be this bop of like a dance song. It's going to be update, so cool to listen to. Like Haim has typical like dance kind of songs. And no, it is not that. It's a bop of a song, but it's not.
It is a bop of a song.
Not what I thought it would be.
I've been describing this to my friends as Carrie Underwood meets Law and Order SVU. Like, it is 100% an episode of SVU in a song. And it's, don't get me wrong, you're right, it is a bop, but I ain't
Yeah.
dancing to this
No.
song.
I mean, I am. I'm like, I think he just with like a gun. My get in the boat. We're going to Olive
All
Garden.
right, let's go to our wins. Very few, but there are some. And I don't want to toot my own horn. I think I got all of the wins. We'll get better, I swear, as we get A, more albums and more of these episodes under a belt, and B, as we get more lead-in time for these records and
Seriously.
not 24 hours notice. We'll have more time to actually make better predictions. But I predicted that Haim's feature would be then just them in the background with no verse or real meaningful inclusion. There was like a minor meaningful inclusion that we'll talk about in the song that is probably my favorite part of the song. But no, I was right. They're there. There's no verse, just like the chicks in Soon You'll Get Better. Why I talked about it with another friend, like all the guys on this album have their own verse. They have a very prominent presence. Why does Taylor not give women not to attack Taylor or anything, but why like are the women features always like they don't get a full say? They're just background vocals.
Yeah.
Like it's odd to me. I don't understand it.
Or over here, like Taylor Swift doesn't respect women's rights.
No, she does, but like
that's the thumbnail.
Prove it? Like, come on. No, so the other prediction I made is that Happiness will actually be the saddest song on the album and not Happy at all. It's not the saddest song in the album, I don't think, but boy, is it close. It is a very sad, gut-wrenching song.
Yeah.
I think technically the message is rather positive, but the way that it's presented makes you want to die. And then we had one that, like, I don't know if this... I curled up a lot. The one thing that's undetermined was Willow will be the inverse of The One, we said. The One started off the depressing folklore with, like, this upbeat kind of boppy tune. We thought, well, maybe Willow will be the exact opposite. We'll start this upbeat boppy tune with a really slow and, like, somber song. Willow's not slow at all, but it's also not boppy. Like, it's not the One style boppy. I think it's definitely more of a radio single style tempo, but so I don't think we're right. I don't think we're 100% wrong though. So those are our predictions.
That's where we ended up.
Like I said, I think give us some time, we'll get a little bit better at this. All right, so do you want to... I'm really excited for this because we have actually kept this a complete secret from each other. We have not told each other our top fives or our rankings at all. We wanted to save them for live on the show. So we're going to do our top five right now, and then we'll fill in the rest as we go through the song by song, and then we'll post it tomorrow with the power rankings the same way that we did it on when Folklore came out. So, Devon, do you want to start? Give me your number 5.
All right. I'm so excited. Okay. So my number 5 off of Evermore was Happiness.
Really? Oh my gosh. That's insane.
No, is that insane?
I have my list on a whiteboard over here.
Did you think higher or lower?
I would have thought much lower.
Really?
Much lower. It's much lower for me.
What's your... Oh, actually, okay. Well, no.
My number 5 is Gold Rush.
Really?
Which is really interesting because my song that I picked to be my favorite was a tie between Happiness and another one. And your pick for favorite was Gold Rush. So we both kind of switched them. Yeah. But I assume Gold Rush for you.
It's up there. We'll get to where it is.
All right, so I'll go next. I'll go with 4. My number 4, because it just... there's a good reason why it's number 4, and there's a bad reason why it's number 4, is Tolerate It.
Really?
Yeah.
Our top 5s are different.
Really? I love that. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, wait till you get to my 1. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Champagne Problems. I think...
I booted that one not too long ago.
I was debating it, but I think just compared to another song that's kind of similar to it, I think that The storyline is fantastic. I think that lyric,
The
just
bridge is
the bridge is the best bridge
insane.
on the album. I'll say that. That's my opinion, but
I disagree, but that's actually awesome that we disagree on that
mhm.
too, because we've had a lot of actually, like, shockingly, we've had a lot of agreement in a
Yeah.
lot of cases. I think this album is so good. There's going to be so much disagreement between
Hmm.
us. Yeah, I like that though. Champagne Problems #4. I like
Okay.
that. Yeah. All right. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is "'Tis the Damn Season."
Okay. Okay.
What's
I'm
your
not going to
number
give you a
3?
reaction to that one. My number 3 is Long Story Short.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did call it. I did call it. I said Long Story Short was going to be my favorite song,
Hmm.
because it reminded me of the story of us. Like, I liked the idea of like storybook telling of
Yeah.
a
Well,
relationship. I like the lyrics. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before. I might have, but I am a sucker for quick fire lyrics.
mm,
Like Ed Sheeran being one, like when he says like "new man," or like a
mhm.
lot of his songs where he just rapid fires a lot of lyrics at you really quickly. I love that in a song, and this song has that in spades, and I just really get into it from that.
I feel like
And
long
the
story
cadence is insane.
yeah, it reminds me of Old Taylor in a way,
Yeah.
long story short. Yeah.
100%.
All right,
Like I said, gives me that story of us vibe.
what's your number 2?
I mean, it's No Body, No Crime, obviously.
Okay.
Like
So is
I had
mine.
it at number 1. Yeah, I had it at
Yeah.
number 1, but it got unseated. And oh my god, I'm so curious what your number 1 is.
I'm very curious what yours is.
All right. So do you want to guess? Do you want to do a guess of each other's number 1s?
Trying to
I
think
feel
what
like
you
yours. No offense. No offense. I feel like yours is dumb, stupid, and off the wall. Like I feel like yours is another epiphany situation.
No. No,
Let
no,
me see.
no.
Let me see.
All right. So
Um,
you picked, let's see. Go through your 4 again.
my top 4 right now
Hmm.
is Gold Rush, Tolerate It, Long Story Short, No Body, No Crime.
Is Marjorie your top?
It is not.
Okay.
Marjorie is not. I think I know what yours is. Um I'm gonna guess Cowboy Like Me.
No, but I do love that song. All right.
That was one that I had near the bottom, and it just skyrocketed today.
It's so
All
good.
right,
All
what's
right.
your number 1? What's your number 1?
Is yours, did you say, well, you gave me a look. I don't know if you like "'Tis the Damn Season" or you don't like "'Tis the Damn Season," but is that your number 1?
My number 1 is "'Tis the Damn Season."
Yeah.
Dude, that song is so good. It
Hmm.
is how I've started the album the most. When I go in and listen, I will almost always start on "'Tis the Damn Season." It's infuriating because when I talk to my Echo and I tell her to play it, she never does because she doesn't
Mm.
recognize the song. I don't know if it's because there's a curse word in it. I don't know if it's because it's still new, but it's a nightmare to get her to play it. Um, I have definitely listened to that song the absolute most. I have delved into that song the most. I my it is probably one of my favorite bridges for a certain reason I
Mm.
will get into.
Yeah.
It's just so good. It's like it's
That's
such a
probably my
clear
number
number
2
1.
bridge. So, okay. Well, fun fact, my boyfriend also loves "'Tis the Damn Season." I think that was one of, I think, his top when he listened to it.
So
But
wait,
so
I'm
my
trying to think.
number
Like
one,
you've got
my
mine. So
number
like,
1, I'm surprised you haven't guessed it.
is it Gold Rush? Okay,
We
okay,
are a
I
Jack
forgot.
Antonoff stan in this
Yeah, I was gonna
house.
say I forgot because I said it. I forgot that you didn't.
I
So
honestly, I don't even think Gold Rush has a bridge.
I don't know. Let's ask Genius. Uh,
Nope. Because I was listening to it and I was trying to think, I think just sonically, it is such a fantastic sounding song. There's these like roaring strings and it just catapults you. It's just like a gut punch.
the
And
lyrics are
it
insane
just
too.
sounds so magical. And that's what I love about it. It's just
We'll
so
get into
dreamy.
it. It has probably one of my favorite themes
Hmm.
of the album, and it is, in my opinion, a story song, which I love. Gold Rush is definitely really high up there for me. We'll say right now, this was the hardest album in the world to to
Rank.
rank. I my number 15 and 14. 15 is like my last one. I'm like, all right, this is my last song, but I still love it. 14 could be in my top 5. Like, that's how good this thing. I actually compiled all of the songs on the list into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. I have my number 1, which is "'Tis the Damn Season," and then my 2 through 5 is my number 2. They're all tied. They're interchangeable. Like, they're all so good.
Yeah.
It's so hard to actually, like, the difference between them is so minuscule that it's like, how do I rank these?
Yeah, there's a couple songs that are like there for me, just like in 1 and 2. So did we want to go over the predictions from last episode and just say if they were accurate or not?
We can do a quick run.
Yeah. So do you want to go through?
Yeah. So you can go through yours. Go through yours first.
So my predictions for my favorites were "Cowboy Like Me," accurate; "Willow," accurate; "Coney Island," wrong. Just putting it out there. Like the song, wrong. "Evermore," yeah. "Marjorie," yeah. "Gold Rush," accurate. "'Tis the Damn Season," accurate.
I absolutely love your rating scale here. Devon's rating scale is all lowercase accurate, all uppercase wrong. Yeah, all uppercase accurate. That is how we know how close she was. So I'll try to follow that. Willow for me was an accurate. Tolerate It was an uppercase accurate. "'Tis the Damn Season" was a double uppercase accurate. I cannot express how much I love that song. Long Story Short was an uppercase accurate. Closure was a uppercase accurate. Happiness was a honestly. Okay. So our least favorites.
All right. So I predicted
2.
Yeah, my least favorites. I only picked 2 because I thought this album was going to blow me away, and it did. Dorothea, I was wrong. And the Happiness, I was wrong. No.
Honestly, all of mine, I picked Dorothea, Marjorie, Happiness, Gold Rush, and Champagne Problems. I'm wrong about all of them. Just like there are no songs I don't like on this album. There are absolutely none.
I was curious about Long Story Short. I was pleasantly surprised by that one. And then Nobody, No Crime. Oh my gosh, so good.
Rating scale. Your rating scale is so nuts. I was curious about Ivy, Evermore, It's Time to Go, which I still don't know about, and Cowboy Love Like Me. They all Cowboy and Evermore initially, and Ivy, those are all ones that were initially towards the bottom, and slowly have creeped up or stayed. But they're still all great. Like, I don't even think that I don't like them. It's not that I don't like them. They're just great songs. All the songs on this album are great. Can't say it enough.
I can't believe there's 2 more songs we haven't heard.
I know.
I hate
and
that.
They're gonna be amazing. You know it.
Yeah.
And I bought a record, and guess what the ship time on that record is? 20 to 22 weeks.
That is insane.
It's
not done yet.
It's not done yet. No, I bought like another $150 worth of merch, even though I told myself I wasn't going to. And I bought like a bunch of shirts. I bought the Cowboy Like Me pullover, like everything. God. It's so great. I'm excited to get them for Christmas next year. Yep. We're gonna go track by track. We're not gonna go too in depth. This is gonna be a long episode just by like. There's no way it's not going to be. So, and we have thoughts about this album, and we are going to talk about it very much in depth over the next few weeks. So, bear with us. If we don't talk about something, or we skip something, or we miss something, don't freak out. We'll believe you me. We'll cover it. And if you do think there's something we should cover, always send us a DM or anything like that, and we'll be happy to try to work it into an episode in the future. So let's start with number 1, the first single on the album. The only single, let's be real. Willow.
Yes.
So, obviously, we're going to do the initial comparison. This was the lead-in single. This was the one with the music video. How do we feel about Willow versus Cardigan?
Well, before we even pit them against each other, I love the fact that the music video is tied together. Like, it was literally just right where you left it off.
I will say this. You can't yell at me. I still haven't seen the music video. I know. You
co-host a Taylor Swift podcast, and you haven't even seen the music video for this single. I'm revoking it. I'm revoking your status.
I've seen, like, I watched it with you when we watched it live, but I had so many technical difficulties I could barely pay attention, and I have just been so enamored with the album. I've been listening to it on repeat. I never actually got around to going around and rewatching it, but I've seen like all the imagery from it. It is beautiful. She is beautiful. I
As
love
always.
the tie-in. Like it's great. Um, and as far as music video goes, I can't say it because I haven't seen it. So I can't compare which music video I like better. I want to say I like Cardigan better. Because I really, really like the music video for Cardigan.
Mm-hmm.
But in the next episode, we'll come back and I'll tell you which one I actually care when I've actually watched it.
Yes. Good. But so versus each other,
It's hard.
it's hard because they're different. I mean,
Yeah.
they're both about someone you love. Like Cardigan was about like that lost love, or I guess not lost love because they ended up together, her reflecting. Willow was about her lover. Take my hand, break my plans, that's my man.
Wreck my plans. Oh, so good.
So they're both like, they both have similar themes. I just feel like Cardigan was more angsty than Willow.
I agree. I think Willow is definitely more upbeat in a sense. So
it's more loving.
I think I prefer Cardigan to Willow. I think, but I like it's weird. It's by decimal points. Like,
I'd agree.
Like there's nothing like I don't want it to just to come off like I don't like Willow. If I have to say it 1,000 times on this episode, I will. This album is amazing, and there are no bad songs on it.
No.
But I think with Folklore, Cardigan was one of the songs that just rose to the top, and it's like pitting a song. Where did you rank it? Where is Willow in your rankings?
Willow's my number 6, so right below the bottom 5.
Willow's my number 8. So like you're ranking a song that was our number 2 for a majority of our rankings for Folklore against a song that's number 8.
Yeah.
So you can adjust it how you want. I think Cardigan just edges it out, which shows you how that we are ranking a number 2 against a number 8, and the number 8 is just barely not as good as the number 2. Like that shows you how good we like this album.
The reason I'd say Cardigan more for me is just you can't beat that bridge.
You can't. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. So how about we put it against the other opener? How do we like it versus the one?
I mean, I was never a huge The One fan. I've grown to like it as time has passed. It's a good song. It was never like my top favorite, so I would say Willow ranks higher for me.
I don't think you can compare Willow with The One. The One apparently was my number 1 listened to song this year on Spotify Wrapped. So, which we'll probably do that in banter in a future episode. We gotta go over that. But yeah, the one I didn't think it would be, but it was the one I listened to the most from Taylor this year. And I don't think as an opener, I think The One is a way better opener than Willow.
Oh, I think it's a better opener, yes. Comparatively as songs, I like Willow more, but I think
that's a good point.
To open up an album, I like The One better than Willow. Like, I feel like with Willow, you just kind of hopped into the middle of a story.
You just hopped right into the middle, 100%.
Which makes sense because it's, it's a sister album. So it's like you're already in the story. You're in the folklore.
There's no
land.
lead-in needed. There's no... Because, like, that was the thing with Folklore that, like, and we'll talk to you, but, like, with Folklore, it was weird because it was so unexpected and there was no expectation whatsoever. Like, and it's not that we've been so long without Taylor. We've only been, like, less than a year since Lover, but I don't know, there's just a different feeling around Folklore than there is around Evermore.
Yeah. It's still shock, but it was just not even close. Like she did it to us.
It wasn't silence and shock.
Yeah, exactly.
So you put it at 6, I put it at 8, just to put that at the end of the conversation. Do you have a lyric you put up here that you really liked? Some
lyric that stood out to me was, "Show me the places where the others gave you scars," and I wrote it wrong, but I was
wondering. I was like, she wrote it as stars, and I was like, is that a typo, or is that like? Because if it's not a typo, you drew stars around my scars. That's an amazing connection there. I feel like this is a theme she's been going back and forth with Folklore and this album, and like all across her discography, really.
So number 2, track 2 is Champagne Problems. Where did you rank this song?
It plummeted today for me.
Really?
mostly to make way for another song that was originally like really towards the bottom that had to get moved up. So I have it at 10.
All right.
Again, it's an amazing song.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my top 4 if we go by the grouping.
Yeah, true. Okay.
But it is in a group that is in a lower echelon than my top, I would say.
I just
8.
think the storyline of this song, the storytelling in general, like this album is full of stories, which is great for folklore, you know, stories passed on. Like this whole song about, you know, this woman rejecting this guy's proposal and then just like going through the emotions of, well, I'm in person and how am I feeling? And then I have to go back to my family and break the news to them. And then the bridge is, oh my God. I just love
so good.
The lyric that I really love from this song is sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knees and asks you. Like, it's just,
Ooh.
Like, it just clear and you're like, yep, marriage. Yep.
I feel like the answer should be clear before they ask you. Maybe that's just me. If it's not clear before they ask you, then it becomes clear and it's a no.
But yeah.
That we freaked out over the bridge live. It's one of those, like, it feels like it never stops. She just keeps going and keeps assaulting you with more and more words and more lyrics that, like, you can't even stop to think about because they're just more flying at you. We do have in this song our first piece of a new segment. A quick segment called Dictionary Corner. There's just, because Taylor's just broken out the dictionary for the last 2 albums, we might as well stop and point out words that she definitely has written in a notepad somewhere that she wanted to get into a song. So this one's definitely crestfallen.
Yeah.
How do you get it? Like, it's these words too that we want to point out. Like, they're so weird in how many syllables they're in the way that the word is formed. Like, having that that sound and fitting that into a song in a way that isn't, like, what's the word I'm looking for, that doesn't, like, stand out is insane to me. So crestfallen obviously means sad and disappointed. It's actually not that. I feel like that's a moderately common word to know, but not a common word to use, if that makes sense. But I mean, it fits this song really well. All right. So Gold Rush, we already both talked about. It's your number 1. It's my number 5. It's my number 5. I love this song because the story and what it implies is insane to me. Like, it's so interesting. I think she's reciting it from a guy's perspective too, which is interesting. It's about a guy who doesn't, like, is, like, in love with a girl who's, like, turning into a celebrity, I would assume. Like, that's what I got from it. And he's not happy about it. like he doesn't like the fact that all of these people, now that she's a celebrity, wants to be involved with her, wants to love her, wants to know what it's like to be loved by her, wants to, like, to be touched by her. Like, he doesn't like that. It skeeves him out. And that blows me away.
Again, sonically beautiful. Love it. Lyrics great.
What you have some lyrics in here too?
Just one, but the lyric, falling feels like flying till the bone crush. I love that. It's just so good.
It's so violent.
And then I pointed this out to you because I thought I had a revelation, but we still haven't. But she finally sung the word folklore in this song.
Yep.
My mind turns your life into folklore.
Look at you, already have the lyrics down. Already have the lyrics
I was singing
down.
it at work and my coworkers were judging me. They're like, how do you know the lyrics already? And I go, I run a podcast about it.
It's my job.
That I don't get paid for.
You just got a nice coffee. I don't know what you're get paid for it. We do also have another dictionary corner for this one. She used the word contrarian, which I love. In this, we get another, like, addition of Taylor changing a lyric just slightly, but repeating it. So in the first time we hear it, it says, calling you on your contrarian. We're going to try to keep this as a family-friendly podcast for this time. But she says a swear word after contrarian. And then the next time she says it, she says, I won't call you on your contrarian. Like, so it's interesting to see that change. And you do, like we talked about with her in our bridge episode, Taylor likes to change the meaning or the feeling of a song towards the end of it.
Yeah.
You get that change in the narrator towards the end, where in the beginning he's like, oh, I'm fine with this, and at the end he's like, screw it, I don't even care anymore. Which I love. Contrarian is a person who opposes or rejects popular opinion, so it's one of those guys.
I'm a cool girl.
I have a meme saved in my phone that's just Kirby from Nintendo pointing at a thing that says, "Not liking popular things does not give you a
personality."
A personality, yeah. Oh, I use it so much, especially when someone attacks friends. So the next one, the best song on the album, because
it's the damn season.
My opinion is always right and never right.
Tis
the damn season.
So sad.
It's so depressing. And like, so there's a story in this one. Like, we had the love triangle in the first song, in the first album, in Folklore. I think we have another story that spans songs in this one. And this is like the first one that I think is like clearly that story. I read somewhere that it's that story. But it's the story of Dorothea, who is an actress in LA who comes back home for the holidays and meets up with her estranged lover that she knew from her hometown. So this is from her perspective, and boy, even though it's from her perspective, she comes off horribly. Like, she treats him like crap. She expects him to be okay with it. If you're okay, then I'm okay. Don't expect me to stay. Like, all of these just terrible things. And it's my favorite song.
I just love, like you said, like the implications behind it. Like the road not taken looks real good now. And it's just like you never went down that path.
I'm going to go off on this one.
Then we get...
You have a lyric in here? You have
another lyric, yeah. To leave the warmest bed I've ever known.
Oh my
Big
god!
sad.
But the thing that's so funny is, like, she's saying all this stuff like, now I'm missing your smile.
She says to leave the warmest bed I've ever known, and then she immediately goes, but I'll go back to LA. And she's not happy about it.
So that's the line. That is the lyric that is my equivalent of but I knew everything when I was young, or back when we were still changing for the better, is so I'll go back to LA. I don't know why. The delivery that she gives with it, the way that it turns, the way that the lead into it is like a little bit of like music, and then it goes, so I'll go back to LA, and it just like shifts into that bridge. That line gets me every time. It is, like I said, it's weird. I don't think anyone else feels this way about that line, but it is so pivotal to me, and it's half of the reason I love the song. I could talk about this song for a very long time. Let's move on.
All right. So then we get into track 5, Tolerate It.
So I had this at number 4. You had this at
number 10.
On your top 5.
Number 10.
I will say, I think this one got moved up a lot because it is the song right after "'Tis the Damn Season." So I would listen to it more often because I would start listening to the album not on shuffle from "'Tis the Damn Season,"
like,
and that made me like it a lot more.
I do. I really do. But there's just some that I like a little bit more.
It's so good. It's so heartbreaking. It's so depressing. Yeah. I can't wait to do a Should Have Said So to see how it stacks up against the track 5 presentation I gave. Because I think it does. It has that somber, it's about a relationship again, but it's just not about a Taylor relationship.
You tolerate it. Lots of yous in there.
Oh, you put the lyric in there. Thank God, because I couldn't find it one. This one is the most heartbreaking lyric, I think, on the entire album.
Now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life.
It's so good. Oh my gosh. Like, just put a dagger in my heart and end it. Like,
all right.
Oh my gosh.
You have a dictionary corner.
We do have a dictionary corner for this one. So I did put indiscretions in here. Again, I think this is probably like a word that you should know, or probably do know, but just don't use very often. And it's another word with a lot of syllables that feels very odd to put in this So it actually stands for behavior or speech that is indiscreet or displays a lack of good judgment, which is funny because I think I just use indiscretions for like bad things you've done, basically, is like the definition I've always given it. So I think that this is such an interesting, different definition that makes me think I might have been using it wrong.
Yeah. What's also, I'm just going to point something out that you said. You said that, you know, people should normally like know these words, which in our age, yes, we should. But you have to remember,
No,
Taylor Swift
100%.
has a lot of young fans, and that just made me
You're
think
right.
like this album is so mature, and we'll get on, like we'll talk about it later. But all of her younger fans, like I'm so curious where their heads at with this album. Like, do they fully comprehend the sadness of this album?
There are high schoolers that are listening to this album right now, like juniors or sophomores in high school, that are going to take the SATs and they're going to go, I know that word because of Taylor Swift. And I know that because I did that with SpongeBob. There were words that I learned from SpongeBob that helped me with the SATs. Like, I think impasse was one.
Enigma was one for me.
Enigma was another one, yeah. It seems we have reached an impasse. And it's always given from Patrick. Why? Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
Yeah.
That is a good point, though. Yeah.
So then we get to track 6, No Body, No Crime. We both ranked it as number 2.
It's so funny because, like, it's an amazing song, but in truth, lyrically, it's a great story. It's a great story, but I don't think anything else stands out here, does it?
I don't think so. I mean, sonically, fantastic song. We always talk about, we say it's like Carrie Underwood. Like, that's who we compare it to. And I really think she uses the device that country music uses, and Carrie Underwood's known for it, especially her song Church Bells, where every verse changes the meaning of the chorus.
100%.
And the chorus,
I love that.
And the chorus pretty much stays the same until the very end, where she switches it up just a little bit. But it's crazy how it's okay. Well, so he's cheating. I think he did it. He murdered her. I think he did it. I murdered him.
I murdered her.
She thinks I did it.
Devin, that's such a great pull, Church Bells. What a great comparison to this song. I love that. This is why
secret country fan.
This is why you're the co-host and I'm the co. Yeah, like there's nothing, like I said, like lyrically, there's nothing really that stood out to us. Olive Garden getting the nice call out.
That story is so funny.
Aside from like the whole story is great. The whole story is, as a whole, is good, but there's no like single line that really stands out. The only one that does stand out for me is just Danielle Haim saying, she was with me, dude. Like, I don't know why.
Who was she saying that to? Like him or like the cops?
The cops.
She was with me, dude.
She was with me, dude. Like, there's an Ariana Grande song that me and my friend would always make this joke about, where like I think it was "Thank You Next" or something, like I know you've seen it, like that part.
Oh yeah,
where she just like randomly says something in the background to like accent it. Like, I love like those random background vocals.
7 Rings.
That Seven Rings. That's the one. I don't know anything about Ariana. I try not to.
Love her. Okay.
But yeah, outside of that, like the song, again, it's both our number 2. Like a clear number 2. Our number 1 on our first listen. We were like, when we finished the album, we were like, all right, well, that's the best one. Clearly, no other song even compared. And now, like, it's number 2. I feel like it's gonna be it probably will drop. To Betty. It's gonna go the way of Betty. I think.
Yeah,
I think it's a great like. I think so. Yeah.
So
because they're both also country too.
Oh yeah, true. Okay, so track 7, Happiness. Where did you rank this? 10, you said?
I actually have Happiness at 9.
9. Okay. Yeah. So that was my 5.
9. It's a hard one.
It's just.
It's a hard one.
Lyrically, this song is just so.
It's amazing.
Wonderful. We have a lot of lyrics we pulled from this one.
Geez. We have a lot of lyrics from this one. Yeah, so, like the thing is like we said, it's sad. It's like somber, but like I think if you really pay attention to the lyrics, they're actually like hopeful and they're actually like good. Like
it is, but that's what makes it sadder. It's
It's
just
like it's a breakup. It's a song about a breakup, but like it's the best Taylor Swift song about a breakup because it's no one's fault. Like you hurt them, they hurt you. That washes out. It's
yeah.
you're not upset with them, they're not upset with you. You're just gone.
I
And you
see
know
it
what?
for what it
Because you're
is.
gone, there's happiness after you. I'm gonna be happy in the future. I just know it. And it's not gonna be because of you. And there's happiness, but there was still happiness because of you. Like the us not being together anymore does not wash away everything there. What was the line? I can't make it go away by making you a villain. And I've had friends go through this where like they like a girl broke up with them, and like when it started to set in for the girl, they started like this is very personal. I hope he never listens to this episode, but they started making accusations like, "Did you cheat on me? Did you do this? Blah blah." And he's like, "Why is she doing this? No, I've never cheated on her. No, I've never done this." And I'm like, sitting here, I'm like, she wants an excuse to hate you, dude. Like she and that's fair. Like that makes getting over someone so much easier. But when you can't do that, it makes getting over someone impossibly hard.
That's what happened.
And that's what this song is about.
Yeah. That's what happened with me and my boyfriend. When we broke up when we broke up, I told him, I'm like, if you need to hate me to get over this. And he's like, I can't hate you though. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
But it's all good now. But yeah, some other
it worked out really well. This song will destroy you if you ever break up.
Oh God,
again.
if we break up, songs in the headphones, jump. Now some of their lyrics I really liked.
I think he did it.
He did it. Now I'm right there in it. All the years I've given is just ish we're dividing up. Like it's just all these years, and now it's just junk. We're dividing up.
What is with Taylor Swift and divorce on this album?
Okay, so I was going to talk about this later. I was going to talk about this later, but I need to address it now. Her and Joe Owen co-write these songs together. Are they just like, hey, babe, you want to pretend to break up today? Yeah, sure. Let's just emotionally heartbreak each other so we get content out of it. Ha, 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 ha. Awful. Like,
I mean, the other thing is her parents did get divorced, and they're still both forced to see each other and be in the picture, which has got to be tough. And
I'm sure
might be something that Taylor could write about.
I'm
sure she's drawing mild inspiration from it.
Very true.
All right. So yeah, just like the chorus, like there'll be happiness after you, but there is happiness because of you. Both things can be true. Like it's so true. Like, and the way that she changes it, she says it, she sings it for him too. Happiness after me, but there is happiness because of me. Both of these things, I believe, there is happiness. Like,
I know. It's just so good.
God, it hurts. It hurts. Oh, it's so good. I already said can't make it go away to make you a villain. Did you do this one or did I do this one?
You did this one.
No one teaches you what to do when a good man hurts you and you know you hurt him too. Like we've gone over all these lyrics. Like it's just, that's what it is. This song is the most heartbreaking because it is about a healthy relationship of two people growing apart and no one did anything wrong. And those are the scariest relationships. Like we said, they're the hardest to get over.
Yeah.
We do have a dictionary corner for this, and we have dappled, which I love, which is just marked with spots around and patches, but like dappled. Ugh, say that 1,000 times and don't crack a smile. The happiness in this song, that's the only thing.
All right, track 8.
So we have Dorothea.
Yes. I like the song. I ranked it number 9.
I ranked it number 11.
That's, yeah.
But I do, like,
Close.
I love Scoops. I love the, hey, Dorothea. Like, I love the way that she sings Dorothea really well.
Dorothy.
I love the upbeat. I do hate the way she does it lackadaisically in the like towards the end where she like says Dorothea, like she just doesn't give it any alto at all. She's just
silly.
Like whatever, you take that one.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of like a childhood kind of vibe, like very just like bopping your head.
It gives me So we'll talk about the story a little bit later. This might be a really long episode, guys, so please buckle in. But this one reminds me of like the closest we'll get to a Betty or an August, or like a Betty or an August, I would say. Are the
I would
two
say more
closest.
Betty than
Like, this
August.
seems like I would say more Betty than August as well, but I mean just like that age range of characters. Like, this doesn't feel like the divorce ready couples of the earlier songs of Tolerated or Happiness. Definitely feels like a little more youthful.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
We don't have any lyrics for this one though.
No, it's pretty simple. Nope. It's a simple good song. Then we get to the next song.
I feel like I'm gonna guess this is your least favorite.
This is my number 15.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This was my number 15. It moved up though. It's now my number 12.
Okay. It's like I don't not
Which
like
is shocking.
But out of all the other songs, it's my lowest. Like, this isn't a song that I need to go out of my way to listen to.
Mm-hmm. For me, it was like when I started, like, I have my whiteboard here that I put up behind my dresser behind me, and I started, I was like, all right, number 1, 'Tis the Damn Season. Number 15, Coney Island. Done. I have those. And then slowly all the ones from, like, it was Coney Island and then Cowboy Like Me. And slowly those just started creeping up a little bit. The only reason I think I like this one a little bit more is because I think it's a story song that ties into the Dorothea Saga, which I'm going to call that Dorothea Saga TM. So I think that, like, having a connection to that story, which I really enjoy, gives me something. But, like, it is definitely on the harder side to enjoy, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, but it's still great. Like, it's still like,
we thought it kind of dragged when we listened to it. We were like, there's more. Like, it's not bad, but it's just kind of like, all right.
It definitely does drag a little bit. And it also has the most egregiously bad lyric with a big cake, happy birthday. Like, I hate that lyric so much. Every time I hear it, it takes me out of the song, and it just makes me giggle, which I don't want to be giggling.
It's like, all right, Matt.
I do like, we also have a random Dear John reference in here. Did I paint your bluest skies the darkest gray?
So that's why we talked about this briefly before the episode.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah. So I thought that this bridge just brought in all these different past relationships of her. The bluest skies, darkest gray, Dear John. And when I got in the accident, the first thing I saw was your face. That's Harry Styles in the snowmobile accident. And then, what are the other ones? And then,
walked up at the podium, forgot to say your name, Calvin Harris.
Yeah, there was one more. Oh, the big cake, happy birthday was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, but so I thought it was that.
Yeah,
it points out like all these past relationships.
Really good point. That's so good. Yeah, that makes that might make this jump for me a little bit. But I can also kind of tweak it to be a Dorothea song, which I like too.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's not much else to say about Coney Island. It is still on the lower end of us, but again, it's hard to say because I think the lower end of us is still really high.
Can we talk about track 10? Because I have a lot of feelings about Ivy. This might have been in my top 5.
Where did you rank it?
I ranked it 7.
Really?
It was right after Willow. I
have it at 14.
Really?
Which is like, it's so disrespectful because I love this song. Like, it's always a song that I think about fondly. I always enjoy it. I love the message. I love the lyrics. I think the lyrics are insane. I do. I like the message when I figured out what the message was.
Cheating on her husband?
It's just so... I like... Not the message. I like the content. How about that? I like the content of the song. Yes, cheat on your husbands, everyone.
Love the message.
But it's just impossible. This album is impossible. There's so many good songs.
This song has been stuck in my head for the past couple days. I just think, oh, goddamn, my pain fits in the palm of your fingers. It's just so good.
It's so good.
And we pointed this out. You read the lyrics of the song, or you just look at the lyrics, and you're literally looking at a poem.
Uh-huh.
It's just so,
This is a poem.
yeah, just the words in this song are just beautifully picked out. It just sounds like you're reading prose.
Clover blooms in the field, spring breaks loose, the time is near. What would he do if he found us out? Crescent moon, coast is clear.
Mm-hmm.
Spring breaks loose, but so does fear. He's gonna burn this house to the ground. How's one to know? Like I
Mm-hmm.
could at an open mic night
Yeah.
and get applause. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could do a dramatic reading of this poem, and it doesn't sound like a song. Like that's insane to me.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So
this.
we do have a we have dictionary corner for this, and we have incandescent, which is just like again, it's another word that like I think is common,
Mm-hmm.
but like how do you fit that into a song? Like it blows my mind. It's emitting light as a result of being heated,
Mm-hmm.
sure, but I just can't get over that. Um, so the next one we have the second F bomb in track 11. We
You're a
have Cowboy
cowboy
Like
like
Me, the
me.
country song,
Okay, so
the
I didn't
country song, right?
I didn't know this, and I kept commenting throughout this entire album. I'm like, this sounds like Mumford and Sons. This sounds like Mumford and Sons. Who'd have guessed it? Marcus Mumford is in this song, just background vocals,
That's insane.
and I love it. I love it. I'm so happy I was right in some kind of capacity. I love this song. I ranked it number 8.
It it was very low for me. It's number 6 now. Like
Mm-hmm.
cuz today I was singing it all day.
Yeah.
Like I thought like when I first heard it I was like this is so slow. Like the lyrics are
Oh,
pretty good,
good.
but like I'm never going to go out of my way to listen to this song, and I started listening to it earlier today. Like
Mhm.
it's it's really good.
It
It's
is.
really good. Like and that's the thing that even is like I didn't expect it to be. I didn't expect it to pop up so high, but I can see this breaking top 5 for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the lyric, now you hang from my lips like the gardens of Babylon. Just the way she
I
sings
didn't
it too.
we reacted that to that
Mhm.
live too. Like that was a lyric that jumped out to us like from
Yeah.
the get-go as being insane. So then we have long story short, I claimed this one as was going to be one of my favorites, and I was correct.
Hmm.
Um I like we already spoke a lot about it in our top 5 rankings, so I don't want to go too far. A lyric that I liked a lot just clung to the nearest lips.
Hmm.
Like that's so good. Like ah, we have 2 dictionary corners for this one. We have precipice, a very steep rock face or cliff, especially a tall one, stood on the cliffside saying, "Give me a reason." And then nemesis, an escapable agent of someone's or something's downfall. So poetic and
Just
crazy.
2
But
words.
you know those 2 words are in a notebook from
Hmm.
Taylor going, I need to fit these in a song somewhere. Like
Yeah.
those are definitely like big, like they're hoax words, or like it
Hmm.
has an X in it, like nemesis, 100%.
Yeah. I ranked this song number 11.
Wow.
I wanted to rank it higher, but there's just
Wow.
other
It's
songs.
so hard. It's so hard. I can't blame you. I can't blame
I
you.
know.
I this is my number 3. So now we have Marjorie, and this one is so hard for me.
Hmm.
Um, because I legit live cried to this song the first time I heard it. Like it, as I mentioned, I lost my grandmother. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary, so this
Hmm.
song destroyed me. And it's interesting. This is the first of her like sad album songs that I liked. So to put this in perspective, Taylor does always kind of put a kind of out there, very sad song towards the end of the track listing on her albums. She has Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, and Red, Soon You'll Get Better, and Lover, Epiphany, and Folklore. This Love is not like the same as all of those, but it's the closest to it. There's
Yeah.
obviously none in
Just like a
Reputation
slower
because there are
tempo,
no
kind of.
it's a very slow tempo, very somber, and like I generally don't like them. Soon You'll Get Better, I've never cared about because it just never resonated with me. Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, same thing. Epiphany,
Hmm.
This Love. This
And
is
I've
the
loved
only
all
one I
those
really like. I know you do. This one slaps a tissue on your face because tears. Um,
songs.
it's so heart wrenching and sad. Taylor wrote in the YouTube live before the Willow premiere that her favorite lyrics on the song on the album currently are "Never be so kind, you forget to be clever. Never be so clever, you forget to be kind."
Hmm.
It sounds like something a grandmother has stitched on a pincushion. Like it's a very Grammy sounding phrase.
Yeah.
Like, my mom would always say, "I love you, a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck." Like, it's one of those kinds of like cutesy like phrases that like I wonder what I'm gonna have that as an old guy. Like, what am I gonna say? Probably that, because I stole it from Taylor Swift.
Oh
But
my gosh.
and then you put the line that made me cry.
I should have asked you questions. Like, don't call me out like that.
There's that, and then there's also the where is it? I should have saved every grocery store receipt and all of your closets of backlogged dreams. Like, my grandma journaled a lot, and she has closets and closets full of journals, and I can't read her handwriting. But like, just read it, like just seeing like a mirror image there of like remembering that kind of stuff, heartbreaking. It makes me want to die just a lot.
Okay, track 14 then. Let's move on to Closure. So I did not realize
this was in my top 5. This was in my top 5.
Okay.
It moved out.
So I love this song. I do. I really do. I had to rank it my number 14 because I just couldn't fit it anywhere else.
Mine it's at number 7. It's interesting. In a Taylor Swift group that I am in on Facebook, people are kind of trashing this song,
and I love it, and I hate it because I love it, and I don't want to rank it so low because I don't want to give them reasons to be happy. But like, you know, BJ Burton helped produce this song, and he's produced for Charlie XCX, and there's that little bit of like glitch pop in there, and she uses the same vocal technique that Bon Iver uses, where he like kind of like alters his voice like a little bit, and it's so good. And the time signature, the 5/4 time signature, is so cool, and I want to rank it higher. But there's so many other songs that I love on this album.
This song reminds me of I Knew You Were Trouble, because she's kind of like incorporating a type of music we've never heard from or expected from her.
Glitch pop,
which is really interesting. The glitch pop is insane. I'm just getting on the like, I like tinges of glitch pop. Like, I like Petty Biscuit or Petite Biscuit, however you say it.
Yeah.
I like Marshmallow. I like ounces of Charlie XCX. I don't like full glitch pop Charlie XCX, but like I do like a good amount of it.
You're like dipping your toes in the water.
I Knew You Were Trouble. Yeah, but like that's how I was with dubstep when I Knew You Were Trouble came out, and I thought it was the perfect amount of dubstep to put in a Taylor Swift song, and I thought this is the perfect amount of glitch pop to put in a Taylor Swift song, and it fits with the theme of the album so well, because it's a jarring concept. It's an interesting like just theme in general of like someone saying, I don't need your closure. Like, I know you want it, but I don't want it. And I already have mine. I don't need yours.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot in there. There's a lot to break down in there.
So then
all right, we've reached the end. Oh my God, guys, this is going to be an hour and a half long episode. Evermore.
Oh, wonderful.
Where do you have this one?
So I wanted to rank it higher, but it's number 13. That's where it fell for me.
Mine's number 15.
Okay.
This is my last on the album.
I like this song.
It's hard because I still love it.
It's where Justin Vernon comes in that really just kicks it higher for me, because I think it just creates such a cool contrast. But it's just otherwise it's a pretty calm song. So I do keep, which isn't bad.
It's so chill in the beginning. No, not at all. I do think it's really weird. I don't know. Did you notice the way she says capture in this song? She says capture. Like, she puts an S at the end, like capture.
I did not realize that.
It freaks me out. I don't know why. You're never going to not hear it. But I think that's also a reference to Cats. Like, that's such a weird line to put in here. Motion capture.
Put me in a bad light.
Painted me in a bad light. Like, that's so weird to go, I need to put this in a lyric.
Yeah.
It's got to be Cats, because what else did she do with motion capture? Like,
but then why are you putting it in this song?
Anyway, like, why are you putting it in this song? Like, where does it fit in? Yeah. I do keep relating this song to the Cardigan music video. Like, when Justin Vernon comes in, I feel like I'm drowning in the waves of the vocals that he creates. Like, his vocals like wash over you, and you just feel like you're Taylor clinging to a piano in the middle of a storm in the ocean.
they both just the way that they do the same thing that they did in Exile, where they go over each other. It feels like just waves crashing
Mm-hmm.
against each other. Oh, it's really
And I
good.
love like it's unlike what's the song that you just said? Exile. Unlike Exile, his voice is so deep and this it's so high and her
Mm-hmm.
voice cuts straight through it.
Yep.
Like it's so much like her voice is clearly the one you're supposed to and he's a background while in the other one they're both
Mm-hmm.
foreground vocals and they're just talking over each other. This one she is like that piano
Mm-hmm.
in the ocean and you're the one you're clinging to her while he is just raging around you. I can't get over like a song that makes paints that powerful of an image and relates to something like that is insane to me, and I can't believe that she recreated that feeling in song, which is why it hurts that it's 15 for me.
I know. It's too good. But then a lyric that I really like is writing letters addressed to the fire.
Oh,
It's just,
that's so good.
hmm
That's so good. Um, yeah. So that's all 15. Those
yes,
are
track
how
by
we all
track.
thought. Track by track, quick reactions. We'll do song breakdowns for this. One day, we'll go through all of the song breakdowns in an album before she puts out a new album. I'm
We're
excited for
trying.
that to happen.
You were close.
We got so close. We got so close.
She
All
said,
right. So
nah.
one thing I'm going to point out, I'm going to do a real quick overview of this. I think there is another story that spans songs like the love triangle,
Hmm.
and I'm going to call it the Dorothea Saga. It's Dorothea and her hometown lover. Um, it does not reference the teenage love triangle we had from folklore, although Swift does say that Dorothea in high school is James and Betty and Inez. I do believe that at least 4, maybe 5 songs on the album are about Dorothea and her estranged occasional hometown lover. So I think we're introduced to this story in track 3, Gold Rush. It might not be about her, but like there's so many things in there of like falling in love with a celebrity that really points to it. It's all about someone who's in love with a relationship with some kind of celebrity, like I said. And Dorothea, we know, is a celebrity,
Hmm.
and it's about this relationship that they had, and he's just going through saying like, I don't want to be a part of that kind of thing. And I imagine this song takes place after Dorothea moves to LA and starts to actually make it big. So I think the overall story is she was dating this guy in high school, probably the same high school as James and Betty. And when they graduated, he stayed in the hometown and she wanted to make it big in LA. So she went, leaving him a lot. It kind of reminds me of Molly by Lil Dicky, where Dorothea is Lil Dicky except reprehensible and not
Yeah.
a redeeming character. So then the next song immediately is "'Tis the Damn Season," and this is Dorothea's perspective as she comes home for the holidays, spends it with her hometown lover, who she debates throughout the entire song if she was ever even right to leave. In the end, she does again. She leaves him again and goes back to LA. And I think this song takes place after Dorothea has been in LA for a while, has that name, and it's like I think it's after Gold Rush. So the guy's like he's not 100% about taking her back and having her back, but like he's still hopeful that maybe she'll stay, even though she knows she's just using. She's not going to stay.
Hmm.
Then we have Dorothea from her hometown lover's perspective again, but I think this takes place not too long after Dorothea leaves, but before she gets famous. So I think this is before Gold Rush. Her lover is still interested in her and rather positive about her. He hopes that like, hey, do you still think about me while you're gone? I know we had something when you were here. Hopefully you come back and we can rekindle that. And then we have Island, which again could be about her ex-lovers, which I didn't think about, but I
Hmm.
kind of put it in here. But like when I walked to the podium, I think I forgot to say your name. I think is Dorothea winning an award for being an actress, and she never thanked her hometown love that she cares so much about, who even in "'Tis the Damn Season" she says like the only person who when I smile is genuine, or something along
Hmm.
those lines. So she knows that he is someone special that no one else has been able to cover, but she never thanked him. She doesn't acknowledge him as a part of her life when she's in LA. So it could be that. I can point to a bunch of lyrics. I'm gonna force this into a whole episode
Oh
down the
my
line
gosh.
because I'm
Okay.
really passionate about this. The last one is Closure. Maybe not. but I could argue that it does sound like it could be from the lover's point of view. It could take place much later after Coney Island, where she's like, all right, let me try again. Let me try to reach out and explain. I know I was wrong. Will you take me back? Blah, blah, blah. And he's just not having it.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy reached out by letter to try to get some closure after the last visit, after 'Tis the Damn Season. And he's just like, nah, we're done. And it's such an interesting relationship. It's such an interesting story because it's one of my favorite. It's a love story that doesn't have a happy ending. It's a love story with crappy characters who like just wants to use someone for love, but in the end, the guy, like, he's hopeful that it turns around, but it doesn't. And I feel very passionate about this story, and I'm excited about it. I don't think all these songs fit 100%, but there are definitely bits and pieces that I think stand out to me, and I would love to hear your guys' opinion. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm reaching? But that's my quick thing about about the story I think that we have in this song, or in this album.
So in closing, I mean, let's just talk about how we feel about this album. How do you think it compares to Folklore? Quality of songs, how do you think this album stands?
A top tier, absolutely top tier. Like we mentioned, Cardigan is the number 2 song I think we both settled on, or in at least the top 3, and we were having a hard time comparing it to a song that's number 8 in this album. Like, there are so many top tier songs in this album that I had a harder time doing this one than I did Folklore. Like, Folklore, I had a clear bottom, and there are songs in Folklore that I skipped even early in listening to Folklore. I have not skipped a single song in this album.
It could be recency bias, but I just think this is a solid body of work. I think that with Folklore and Evermore, I think if you told, last year, if you said that she was going to be putting out music like this, I would not have believed you. And I'm so happy that she is. And it just sounds so mature. Like, some overall themes you pointed out, lots of infidelity, bad relationships, specifically marriages. I think there's also a lot of just still dark themes, death and just gory kind of stuff that just in these 2 albums, like, it's just the deep dark stuff.
I think it's interesting, like, so we mentioned this, that or I don't know if we mentioned this on the episode, but we've been talking about it, in that you said Folklore is like the child version. It's about a teenage love triangle, and this one, if we count my love story, and this one is about adults, and how crappy adults can be. There's a lot of stuff about marriage and like infidelity, like we said, there is murder and stuff like that, but it's funny, like, there are so many like references to blood, open wounds, all this jumping off a cliff and everything in Folklore. There's some of that here, but not as much. But the actual gut punches come from real adult relationships and happiness, like that breaking up with someone when there's no real problems. It's just an actual just heartbreaking breakup. Like, the themes are just as dark and sad and horrific, but they're not as overt about it.
It's like the subtle maturity. Oh, all right.
And I think that's a reason why I like it a little bit more.
I mean, the stories in Evermore, we prefer to the stories.
If I'm right about my story,
I just think it's, as older fans of Taylor Swift, I think we can just relate more to Evermore. It's just, and that's what makes it even more heartbreaking. I think Folklore is still a fantastic album, but I just think Evermore just stands out a little bit more. Sonically,
I feel like if I had Folklore given to me in high school, and Folklore and Evermore given to me when I was in high school, I would have loved Folklore 1,000 times more. But as an adult, I feel like I just gravitate towards the album about more similar things to myself.
Sonically, I think that I prefer Evermore. I think there was a lot more risks were taken. Aaron Dessner talks about this, how they put out Folklore and they just decided to dive deeper. And he's like, we just took the things that, I think Peace was the one that they were like experimenting on with the time signatures. And then they have a 5/4 time signature in here. And I think there's some other cool ones and the glitch pop. And I just think that Folklore was the peeking your head in, like, can we do this? And then Evermore was like, we're going to go for it.
I think that's the other thing we mentioned too. After we did our live listen, we were like, we pointed out that like when we did our live listen to Folklore, I feel like we were so much more blown away initially. We were like, wow, like this song stands out. Betty is incredible. August is insane. Cardigan's incredible. Like we just pointed out all these songs. And then at the end, for me at least, and even you, Peace was a song that we didn't even think about in the beginning. And it just started rising and rising and rising until we were like, holy crap, this song is amazing. And this album, after we listened to it, we were sitting there like, well, we have No Body, No Crime. That's an obvious spot. That's really good. We have Gold Rush, we think is really good. Champagne Problems, probably really good. But like the rest of this album, like, do we? Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I think this is going to be an album of pieces. Like, I think this is going to be a bunch of songs that the more we listen to them, the more we fall in love with them, like we did Peace. And so far, yeah.
Stands up. Yeah.
Like, so overall, which do we like better? Definitively, Folklore or Evermore?
I don't know if it's recency bias, but I think I'm going to go with Evermore.
I think so too.
And really it's crazy because I know a lot of people, friends still say that Folklore is better, which I respect, but I just think that Evermore's doing it.
I'll never. That's the thing. The reason that I don't think it's a recency bias is because when we first listened to it, I was like, it's fine, but I'm not really feeling it. Like, I didn't think I would like it that much. And it's just the more I listen to it, the more excited I am to listen. 'Tis the Damn Season is like, I can't get over how much I love that song. So like, it's definitely a bit of recency bias, but I think time will show that the recency bias will fade and this album will still think is better than Folklore, especially because, like I said, like we had such a hard time. Our track 15, we're not even happy with it being at 15.
Yeah.
Like I was fine with This Is Me Trying and Epiphany being at 15 or 17, 16 and 15 or whatever when we originally think. Like I was like, you know what? This is clear. This is obvious. I had songs that were 15 and 14 move all the way up. The songs that are currently at 15 and 14 are going to move all the way up. Yep. It's impossible. Like the best songs of Folklore, I think, are about as good as our middling songs from Evermore.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I don't even know if I'd be able to handle a trilogy, not even from the perspective of the work that we would have to do as a podcast, but like, if it's trending in that direction where it's just getting better and better with each one, like how good is the third one gonna be?
I don't even want to think about a third one. I don't think I can handle it.
But I mean, I like closing. We love it. It's insane. And I didn't think I would. I truly didn't think I would. We both we started this era of Folklore 2 with, oh my God, another one. Are you kidding me? Like blah, blah, blah. We weren't that thrilled about it. And it's just so interesting to see how wrong we were. Not even in our predictions, but just like how we thought we were going to feel about it.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. I'm so glad that you like it as much as I do too, because I thought that we were gonna debate, and you were gonna be like, oh well, Folklore has this, and I would have to defend myself, which I'm not good at doing. So I'm glad that we both kind of see eye to eye on this one. It's just so good. It's just so good.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to our Evermore breakdown, basically just going through all of our tracks. Please let us know what you think. Comment below or DM us. Let us know your thoughts and opinions.
If you're listening on as a podcast, please subscribe on whatever platform you're on. If subscribe on Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify. If you have a friend who's a Taylor Swift fan, tell them about us. And also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, rate us 5 stars and give us a review. It really helps us rise to the top of their podcasts.
Yes, and follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We use the most often, as well as YouTube, so you can see our lovely faces. Make sure to follow us, leave a comment, DM us, let us know what you think.
If you have a suggestion for an episode, let us know. Honestly, we do have a lot of stuff we definitely want to do for this. We are going to be able to take a little bit of break on the song breakdown so we can process everything. So we'll let you know when the first one's going up. We're going to keep that Thursday schedule every other Thursday, but we just got to figure out when the first one we're going to do is. I believe next week we might be doing a Christmas episode to stay in tune with the seasons. And now we have a beautiful new Christmas song in 'Tis the Damn Season.
Oh, no. All right. Well, thank you again for listening.
Thank you guys for listening. Come back.
We'll be here.